What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. So on the left side here, we have Centurion going up against Fire King Azamina on the right side. This is still one of the first times we are playing the deck, so if you do notice any misplays, definitely let me know in the comment section down below so I can replace them. Obviously, I'm trying to get better at the deck, and we need you guys' support. We are going to be going first here. We have one, the die roll, going up against Centurion. This is going to be the punk version of Centurion. Kind of lets you go through a little bit more of those synchro plays. We do normal summon with the Ulcanix, activating the effect, destroying another Ulcanix, which can then let us search for the Runix. Runix is only able to trigger because it did see that the Ulcanix was destroyed, summoning itself out, and that's going to destroy a copy of either the Arvada or a Kieran. So we destroy an Arvada, which can then summon back out the other copy of the Ulcanix, giving us a little bit of a link zone. So we do go up into the IP Masquerena, and this can give us access to a princess. We are thinking on this, though. We do activate Wanted first, letting us get that Diabell Star, and then we do discard Diabell Star to summon herself out. Diabell Star is going to activate the effect, allowing us to set the Deception. Deception can then allow us to send the Diabell Star to kind of give us access. And they do chain a Ghost Ogre here. So it looks like we should have gone up into that Princess, and then Princess bring back out the Arvada first. But at the same time, we could have potentially even seen that the Ogre would have been dropped on the Princess. Therefore, we would have been able to summon back out. So we would have left without a fire. But we would still have the Silvera on the field, so I guess that, we end up with a negate regardless. We do set one card, and then the Deception will be able to set itself because it was sent to the graveyard while being face up during this turn. Ogre does destroy, but destroying does send, and so we get to the effect. We are going to be in the passing turn here, and then we are left with one monster negate, which is going to be pretty important, and that we do see a Trudea being normal summoned, activating the effect, and we do decide to chain the Arvada to negate it. That's going to then summon out the Runix. Runix can then summon out the Kieran, destroying it, and then we are going to summon out the Ulcanix from the graveyard off the Kieran, destroying the Trudea. Ulcanix will then destroy the Arvada to search for Ponix, and then we can activate the Ponix as well as, or just the Ponix there to summon out the Kieran. We do see a Centurion Bond going to be activated here, and that's going to be allowing us to place a Trudea from these, or Primula from the spell and trap card zone here, and then we do have the stand-ups, or the one that summons out the token here. So we summon out a token, and I believe we choose it to be level 8. We do send the Trudea off, or Primula off the Gargoyle here. We activate the Gargoyle, sending, and we do chain Impulse to this, letting it stay in the hand because we don't have another trap in the graveyard, but negating it so that we can just not continue to special summon out. They did turn the token into a level 4, by the way, just so they would be able to go up into a level 12. We are going to be seeing them need to pass on this, and it looks like they have a copy of Valor in the hand. So not looking like they can have much more. I don't know if Bonds is necessarily the best card to play. I know some players have opted to not play it, but I feel like it's going to be still a pretty good card, just not maybe the best hand. We do go Hallowed Azamina to send the Deception. We activate Deception first, obviously, and then we go up into the Ultra there. The Ultra, the Bat one, is going to allow us to search, and then we link up into Duel Chimera. We are then going to be seeing the Hallowed Azamina add itself back by putting the Ultra back into the extra deck, and then we're going to go Hallowed Azamina, chain the Wanted once again, letting us be able to search for the Diabell Star from the graveyard, and then we get to send it for free, essentially, getting us for the Silvera. So now we have a Omnigate as well. We can then normal summon the Ponix, which can let us search for Sanctuary, placing the island. Island will then be able to destroy the Duel Chimera, letting us search for the Kieran, but then the Duel Chimera is going to be able to activate the effect, allowing us to add back from the graveyard as well. So we are going to be able to trigger that. It's going to be pretty nice. We could have, if we wanted to, go on for something else. I just like having the recursion of the Duel Chimera constantly. We also see the Grunish going to be summoning itself out, destroying another Kieran. And it's going to summon out the Arvada, destroying the token. And this is just going to be able to go for game. So we do see the Centurion player going to be admitting defeat, because we do just have so much going on, as well as an Omnigate. Pretty crazy how easy it is to OTK with the Fire King cards, and I like it quite a bit. I'm a huge fan of just how simple it is. It also plays around Mulcharmies quite well. I do love Memento at heart, but Fire King is just a really cool deck as well. Both decks are able to play through mulch armies. Unfortunately, for Memento, you get to just play the Dominus Impulses in the Fire King deck, which I just find are a little bit more powerful, especially also like with the Sinful Spoils cards. You get to have like a little bit more of a reach, kind of like how the Fiendsmith does for a lot of different engines like the Duel and for Memento. I just think it's a little bit better right now. But I do think that Memento is probably the best deck to utilize the Fiendsmith cards. Now, if we could fit in the Azamina cards into the Memento deck, it would be a lot better as well. But unfortunately, I just have not figured out a build for that yet. But I am trying to get it working and branded. I just don't think it's... I think the Diabolical just helps the deck out so much. Being able to do like your third, fourth, and fifth potential copy of the Deceptions, it just feels a lot nicer, especially because you can then also play Wanteds. And then, you have your Wanted combos with if you open up the Hallowed Azamina. Now, if you open up Hallowed Azamina by itself, it just does nothing for branded, unfortunately. So, I don't really like it. I do like the Fire King deck a lot, so I'm going to be trying to play it. I might be going into Rescue Ace as well, depending on how it kind of goes. But we're going to be diving on into Game 2. So we do see a E-Telly. And fun fact, I started out Full Roast because I did not think it was going to be good enough. I did not know he was playing the Punk cards here, but it would have been quite nice. So we do see the E-Telly search for Ziaman. Ziaman is going to activate the effect, paying 6 to let us search for a Foxy. And now we can activate the Deer Note, sending the Foxy to summon itself out. And then we go up into the Primula Purus. It's going to be a new super rare, allowing us to essentially search our deck for an Oath, which is going to be full combo on itself. We're going to be seeing the Deer Note also summon back out the level 8 Foxy, and then we can use both of them to go up into the Ultimate Token. So it's going to be the 5th summon as well, which is very important because this is now going to be nib proof. So kind of crazy how that can happen. The Primula as well as the Foxy are both level 8. One's a tuner and one's not. So I do like this quite a bit, and we do see an Oath going to be activated now, allowing us to set the stand-up Centurion. This is now going to then trigger the Ultimate Token, and we do chain a Kieran here, destroying the Ponix, just so we get a body on the field. Now, it's not going to do that much for us. We just don't want them to destroy the Kieran and then let that be able to gain the attack, stuff like that. But looking back, I probably should have still not done that. There was absolutely zero reason to do it. I'm not exactly sure. I thought maybe, putting the Kieran as pressure could help me out, but looking back, it did not. We're going to see this Crystal Wind being summoned out, and then we're going to be able to activate the stand-up, discarding a card, going up for the Trudea and the Primula combo, and then we go up for the token summon, summoning out that token, and then we dump the Phalanx by banishing it, and then we're going to be able to go up once again, and we're going to be synchroing up into Auxilla. Auxilla will then be able to allow us to search for a Gargoyle here, and then Gargoyle will send the Trudea to summon itself out. We get to go up into a Crimson. Crimson can then actually search, so we are playing a spell for this. So maybe choosing to play a little bit less hand traps and more combo pieces there, like we saw with the Ziamans as well as the E-Tellys and the Synchro Rumble, which can let us summon back another body, which actually the tuner, the Synchro Tuner here is going to allow us to do, which is kind of pretty crazy. It does kind of prevent us. We do go up into the Cosmic Blazer, so now we have one Cosmic Blazer, and then we get to also go for the Trudea during the Spell and Trap Card Zone during the end phase here. So it's kind of nice. I do like this combo quite a bit. It also allows us to summon out the Trudea and then allow us to go for another Cosmic, which is kind of crazy, but we're going to see the Ponic going to be adding itself back during the standby phase here, and then now we're going to be able to play a little bit more as well. But there's no way we're breaking this board. We have the Deceptions, which is going to most likely eat the Cosmic up, but it's still going to be able to let us summon out now the Trudea, because Trudea isn't going to be considered a trap card. We can activate any time, and then let's Synchro Summon up into another Crimson. Crimson can then let us go for another Cosmic, and yeah, we're not going to be able to beat this. So, we have another Judgment, essentially, and then also a Crystal Wing on the field, which is going to be pretty nutty. And all we have is, we have a bunch of cards that we can activate there. So we do activate the Island, or Sanctuary here, and then we are going to activate the Island effect, and it's going to get met with another Cosmic, then that's going to then trigger the Island in the graveyard to destroy the Kieran, and that's going to allow us to summon out potentially the Pawn. If they do Crystal Wind negate this, it's not going to attack because it cannot destroy as it's in the graveyard, and we can finally normal summon. We have Ponix in the hand, And that's kind of it. Now, looking back, I probably should have not played the Deception first, but there's nothing really else I can do. And there also is a Veiler in the hand as well. I don't know if that really comes up. We do go for Diabellstar, and that's going to be hit with the Veiler here. And looking back, this is where I made a misplay. I should have normal summoned the Ponix first, activating the effect, allowing us to kind of play through it by like hoping this gets hit, because Skyburn's not going to do anything for us. But yeah, we need the Diabellstar to kind of resolve. We're going to go Skyburn, target the Auxilla, and then we are going to chain the Circle, which we are no longer playing, I should mention. And we sell the Circle as well, so we could have played through the Veiler that way, allowing the Skyburn to still search, and we would have still been able to resolve Diabellstar there, because they didn't really know we had anything else. So hitting the Ponix definitely could have been a good card for them. But we are going to be seeing the Fire King player, or us in this case, admit defeat, because we can't crack this board. Both Cosmics are coming back. They have OTK next turn, but like that was crazy. That Centurion is such a hard board to break. You know, the interaction, the layers that it has is like so crazy. Especially in the Punk version, you know, being able to make those Crimson Dragons for that additional monster to get under Nibiru, by the way. Like, you're forced to Nibiru on that, and then, like, they can just continue playing anyways. So they don't really care about it, which I think is pretty nuts. And that's all off of one copy of Xiamen there. We did have, obviously, the Deer Note in the hand, and another Foxy as well, which let us kind of extend a little bit more. But we could have had other cards as well, which could have let us play through that a little bit differently, maybe with more resources, you know, not having to discard the other Foxy off of the stand-up Centurion there, the field spell here. But we could have, I wonder if they play the Poly one, like that would let them summon out the fish, but probably not. I feel like that's definitely maybe a little bit more of the engine. I don't exactly know what the Punk engine is in this, but we are going to be diving on to Game 3 with Fire King going first now. And that's going to allow us to start off with the Hallowed Azamina once again, chaining the Wanted, letting us search for the Diabellstar, and we summon out the Silvera. We do not need that search anymore. We have all the Sinful Spoils cards at our disposal. We do go a normal summon of the Ulcanix, activate the effect, and this is going to get me with a Veiler. We are going to chain the Silvera, negating the Veiler here. That's how important this Ulcanix is going to resolve, destroying the Arvada, which can now let us summon out, or search out for the Grunix. Grunix can then summon itself out, destroy a Kieran, summon out the Arvada from the deck, and now we have another monster negate on the field. And destroying the Ulcanix to summon out the old Grunix. It's just to empty our deck. There's no real reason we do that. We didn't need to do it. We are going to be seeing the Diabellstar going to be sending the Grunix. It could have been the Ulcanix to the graveyard to summon itself out, and it does get impermed here, but that does not matter because we have the OSS in the hand already, so we can send the Diabellstar to summon out the Ponix. Ponix will then be able to activate, placing the Sanctuary, which then places the island onto the field, and if it wasn't for that Sinful Spoils, original Sinful Spoils, we would not have been able to play through that there, to get the Ponix, of course. But now we're going to be able to go up into a little bit more of our cooler plays. We could have gone for a Duel Chimera if we want to, or we can go up into really anything else. We still have a draw as well off of the OSS and Wanted, but we could also just leave that OSS in the graveyard to be able to search the following turn as well here. So we are kind of thinking on this. They are down to only having 3 cards in the hand, which means they're going to be playing with 4. And then this we do decide to draw off that Wanted. This is allowing us to kind of see what we can play into here. Like, you know, if we draw into a hand trap, spoiler alert, we draw into an Ash Blossom, we can kind of play a little bit differently now. So now we have Arvada plus Ash, and we kind of know what we're going to be ending on. So we could go up and Duel Chimera and then call that just a day. Once your Arvada destroys the Duel Chimera will then be able to activate. But we can just go, instead, Island destroy the Arvada, and kind of play that way, which can let us search for the Kieran. Arvada will then be able to summon back out another Kieran, and this is not going to matter because we're just going to go up into a Princess to summon back that Arvada. So we go up into IP, which then goes over to Princess, and you're wondering, well, why do you want to go for IP? You're not playing Flameverge. Well, you see, if we do opt into later go up into the Anvil Whale, it's going to just be a little bit nicer, as well as our opponent doesn't know that we're not playing Anvil Whale. You know, we could have another body in the hand, and we could link away, leaving Anvil Whale plus the Arvada on the field. But here, the Arvada and Princess is going to be good enough, alongside with Ash and Kieran in the hand. And so here we resolve the effect I thought that maybe OSS was on the bottom of the deck, but no, we did destroy off the island, which means that our deck was randomized. So that's why we kind of wanted to see, do I need to cut my deck? Or does he need to not cut my deck in this case, because the OSS is supposed to be at the bottom of the deck, but it got randomized, therefore it doesn't really matter. We do see now the Deception going to be activated, and then we do normal summon the Ponix, activate the effect, search for Skyburn. Skyburn is going to target the face down and the Ponix, destroy it. Grooves will then be able to activate the effect, summoning itself out, and they do Ghost Ogre the Garunix here. So that is going to resolve, destroying the Garunix. We do get to still destroy from the deck. We choose not to. Okay. I guess we just didn't. We should have definitely destroyed from the deck. That was definitely wrong. We could have destroyed the Kieran, and then Kieran would be able to trigger. But instead we have to go for Island, destroy the Kieran in the hand, which can then summon out the Garunix. And then we're going to be linking those two away for an Ambler Whale. And then we get to activate the Hallowed Azamina, sending the Deception to summon out the Silvera. And then, or we summon out the other one there, the Rugalia, which can then search for a Wanted, which can now give us access to Diabellstar, which is going to be enough of the push for a game. With only 2 cards left in their hand, we're going to be essentially able to just steal the game that way. We are going to go for Hallowed Azamina, adding itself back by bouncing the card back to the hand. And you'll be wondering, well, why are we doing that? You know, you're not really getting rid of a body. It's because we have the Wanted in the hand anyway, so we're just going to search for a Diabellstar, essentially for free. Giving us an on the gate is going to be kind of nice. We do get to send the Sanctuary off of the Diabellstar. Then we set a card, and we just go battle phase and attack for game. So we see here the Fire King deck ends up taking the win here against Centurion. Unfortunately, having the Gargoyle in the hand as a little bit of a brick. But regardless, hope you're watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, how more content like this. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.